You know what? I'll show you around the island myself. Follow me. There are lots of things to explore while waiting for Alyssa to finish setting up your car. Your opponents are getting ready. Like you, their performances have impressed enough that they've been invited to take part in the Solar Crown. But there aren't many places. If you want to be selected, you need to finish in first place.
Radical
Those are the
idea.
spectators. That's who you need to impress. Grabbing the attention of spectators is what helps you progress in the competition. Reputation is everything in the Solar Crown. Your access is determined by how much interest you attract among our guests. The tournament is at the core of the Solar Crown. If you win the spectators' approval, you'll win too.
So I think X is handbrake as usual. Feels that way.
Have you heard about the Solar Crown clans?
Have you heard of the Muffin Man?
Selection process. The clans are made up of the Solar Crown's wealthiest participants. If you join one of them, you're sure to go far. The Sharks are as ruthless in business as they are behind the wheel.
Wow.
They're all about high
I definitely care.
luxury, and ambition. As for the streets, they're all about making an impression and mixing styles. They're bold and have a no-holds-barred mentality, especially on the road.
They're hard-edged and they don't allow anyone to ever win. Cuts to the face.
I'm sure they'll approach you giving your
Hi!
is fully
Hey, you guys!
Show me what you can do behind the wheel.
Well, I would if you stopped talking. Is that handbrake? Is it a handbrake? It's hard to tell. Having a suggested line in a street racing game. What have we gotten to, folks? Ah. Right, okay. So it's not the handbrake, that's a semi-automatic. That's cool. I like seeing semi-automatics in games. Physics are interesting. I'd say the physics are, at least so far, probably better than the first couple of games, I would say. Especially in TDU1, it was kind of a point and shoot kind of physics, whereas this is a bit better, a bit improved.
You were impressive. If you keep that up, you'll quickly make a name for yourself in the Solar Crown. I'll leave you to compete against
Thanks.
other participants, but
I'm gonna be a good driver.
you'll be fine. If you succeed, you'll be taking
What does he look like, Andrew Tate?
one day become a racing superstar. Rise to the top and win the public over for the respect of the clans.
Okay.
Whatever you say.
3 daily challenges are available every day. Complete them for some nice rewards. Wow.
While I'm on my way to the office, a list will help you get to your selection races. The selection races are open. They're marked on your map. I have put the GPS point on your map. We can go there whenever you're ready.
Okay, Arkham Knight. I see you. Well, I guess we'll go to the one thing that we can go to. Just have a look at these controls. Oh, that's interesting. So the rotating camera stays wherever you put it. That's a cool idea. I'm guessing it probably... Nice. Can't beat a good engine startup. I'm guessing that the camera will flick back. Yeah. Aha! So there's our handbrake. So, okay, yeah, I've got the controls.
400 meters. Turn left.
Let's try photo mode. Nice. I like the interfaces so far, especially for a beta. Beta! Yeah, I like it. The steering's quite heavy, but it's hard to tell if that's because it's a all-wheel drive Lambo. Definitely leans onto the understeer side of things more.
You have arrived at a destination.
Está tres. Well, so far, it's not total garbage. Not even close, actually. Yeah, I'm liking it so far. Graphics, you know, it's never going to be Gran Turismo, but it doesn't look bad. Looks a hell of a lot better than TDU2, that's for sure. I never liked the graphics in TDU2. It will be interesting to see, because obviously I haven't played the other beta, this is my first time playing the beta, whether or not this game favours trying to drive realistically, or more like Project Gotham style. You know, like, should you actually brake for corners or just handbrake everything kind of thing, more like Need for Speed. It seems so far that it actually does favour trying to be a bit more realistic, actually using your brakes. I like that. Yeah, it definitely does. Like slowing down for corners rather than just power sliding everywhere. I like that. It's looking good, Nacon. It's looking good. Because I never expect this to be on par with, certainly not Gran Turismo's physics, and not really Forza's either. And it does feel different to both. I like that. It feels like its own thing. I like that the semi-automatic takes over quite quickly as well. Kind of like if you've got a car with flappy paddles like the R32 and Quattroporte, when you engage manual, it flips back into full automatic if you don't use it for a while. And I was wondering what the lag time would be for that. Like if you'd like change up, and then stop, and then it'd be like, but it doesn't. It takes over pretty quick, so that's good. Should make jumping between full automatic and semi pretty seamless, which is cool. I like it. I like it. There's nobody around, dude. You don't need to celebrate anymore. Level 2. I think so far my vibe and my impression of this is I'm surprisingly liking it quite a bit. Physics take a little bit of getting used to, but I would definitely say they're an improvement over TDU 1 and 2, as much as I love those. Graphics, I would say, are more than good enough for me. I don't expect it to be the best, but I like it.
Reputation is extremely important in the Solar Crown. It's what makes you a legend. The more you take part in events around the island, the more attention you'll receive. And with more reputation, you'll gain access to races and cars that are only available to a select few.
I've marked your next race. You can open your map to check its location.
The vibe I'm getting so far, I'm liking. I was quite concerned about how the game was going to turn out, and obviously this is very early on in the process, but still I'm liking it so far. So that's flashing the lights like the old one. I like the visual damage. It's not over the top, but it's there. I like that the brakes and stuff has a bit of weight to it, like you actually do need to plan for where you're going to brake. It's not just like stop and go. Yeah, I like it. It kind of... See, some of the graphics like that looks a bit janky, but the physics are kind of riding the line a bit for me between being old school arcade and trying to be a bit more like a Forza Horizon. It's not quite as fluid as Forza, but again, I mean, these guys have been out of the game, you know, for a long time. Not Nacon, but TDU. So, yeah, I like it. I'm impressed so far. Bonk. Le bonk. I haven't really noticed so far whether or not showboating improves like scores or anything, because that used to be the case. Especially in TDU2, that's how you'd earn a lot of your passive income from drifting and near misses and stuff like that. I haven't really noticed anywhere on the screen so far where that is doing that or not. Because earlier on she said about impressing the crowd, but that doesn't really seem to have had any significant bearing so far. At least not that I can see on the screen. But yeah, I'm liking it. As far as first impressions go, not bad at all. See, look how early I had to brake then. Like, that's good. I'm sure that will annoy some people. I think the impressions of this game I could definitely see falling in different ways depending on what your background is. Like if you've come from a purely arcade background of like just Need for Speeds, Midnight Clubs, maybe TDU back in the day, but less so. Like, I guess at the moment Need for Speed is pretty much the only one that's still around of that era. Then I could see you maybe thinking, like, I don't like how heavy the cars are, you have to brake really early. It's less forgiving than something like a Need for Speed game, or at least the last time I drove one. And for Gran Turismo or Forza players, I think you might, speaking as one myself who usually plays those more, might actually be pleasantly surprised, I think, because it requires a bit more thought and planning on the driving than you would think. Crunch into a wall off screen. I like that. I like that you have to actually put some effort into driving. It's cool to see. It shows signs of effort, which is what I like. The character models and that like TDU1 had characters, but not really. Like, they were there because they just were, you know, they weren't really relevant. Then TDU2 tried to push the characters a bit more, in terms of like having the crown and all that, and that was what was worrying me the most about this, to be honest, having more of like the crown and winning this and winning that, and going up the ranks. Like, most of us don't really care. We're there for the cars, the houses, I guess the clothes and stuff, the casino for some people, but mostly the cars, and then secondary to that is the houses. So as long as you get that right.
The Solar Crown wishes to inform you that a new bulletin is incoming.
Wow.
The driver selection phase has ended. If you have received this message, it's because you've been selected to take part in the Solar Crown. Congratulations.
Me?
It looks like there will be some very interesting competitors this year. Memos such as this one will help us to keep you updated of the latest Solar Crown news. They contain everything you need to know about new events that become available and the latest arrivals.
Oh
Now
my
it's time
God.
to join the competition.
That's incredible.
And to start, we're going to head for Hong Kong Island. That's where your adventure starts.
But yeah, the thing that I'm getting at about the characters is that the models are a bit janky.
Where the heliport is on your map to help you get there.
And it's less the janky characters, because I don't think any of us really expect, you know, a racing game to have the best looking character animations and models, because like I said, that's not what you're there for. But I think the thing that can sometimes be a bit cheesy about games like this, and Need for Speed always used to do this, especially back around like Most Wanted and Carbon, the storylines would be so like melodramatic, like, you gotta beat Razor, or like, here comes whatever his face is, who's like gonna dominate the canyon and he's Audi R8, and they're always so self-serious, but that was part of the fun. It was the cheese. Something about TDU doesn't really pull it off in the same way for me. Like the start of this game, I wasn't recording with the face cam yet, but for any who've played the beta, you'll have seen anyway, where it's very like well, I said trying to be almost like Kingsman-ish or Mission Impossible looking, like, you're here for the Solar Crown, steps off of this drone plane, and ooh, doesn't it look very interesting? Like, no, not really. Like, we're here to race, just get to that. Like TDU1 had the right idea. You play a guy in the game, but all you see is him getting off the plane, and then you just rent a car. Like, that's all we need. That's all we care about. All these convoluted extras on a game, it's not really needed. It's fun, you know, they're trying, but it just comes off as a bit cheesy.
But I never doubted your abilities.
Like all this, it's like when Forza Horizon really started buying into this nonsense, it's like, yeah, okay, just get on with it.
Focal point of the competition.
Those eye animations. Like all this stuff, it's like, who cares, you know? Just get on with it. Unless you're going to let me drive that thing, I don't care, you know? You're a Veyron. Orange chrome. I'm looking forward, because I haven't watched any other creators' beta footage. I didn't even realise the beta was out before. I missed it, unfortunately, so I'm glad I got the chance to do this one. But see, now we're at the Avengers Tower. What was I saying? I can't remember now.
500 meters high, 120 floors. We are now at the top of the Solar Hotel. It is
I don't
the
care.
Hong Kong and was built specially for the competition.
Wow.
But that's not even scratching the surface.
Please scratch the surface. Tell me all about this building that I'll definitely care about.
Perspective on the world.
Cool map.
Good. I have an urgent matter to sort out. Take the elevator. It will take you directly to your suite. And for anything else, Alyssa will be more than happy to guide you.
It's funny how Forza Horizon and this are the two polar opposite ways of doing your character animations. Like TDU, you're like Terminator, just nothing. It's like me walking around in the street, like just rest in bitch face. But then in Forza, they go totally the other way, and he comes across like a 3-year-old. He's like, "Well, I'm so happy to be here. This is also fun. Horizon Festival." And then this is like
I'm Alyssa. I will help you
somewhere between there. I feel like there's a sweet spot, and we're kind of missing it. Instead of all these character sliders, like, what angle do you want his ear to be on? Like, this isn't Fallout. We don't need to get this in depth with the character. But if you are going to get that in depth, there should be like some kind of slider where you can make the character more or less expressive. Like, that's a slider that actually matters.
By the way, Miss Hughes is waiting for you at the dealership. Take the elevator and go to the hotel lobby. A chauffeur will drive you to the dealership.
Cool.
Use L3 to run. Can't use the bathroom, 0 out of 10. I don't really care about the wardrobe right now. Interface, cool. Okay. And see, that was like an encapsulation of what I'm talking about in TDU, because in 1 and 2, buildings and rooms don't really matter. Like, the only reason why any of us want the bigger houses is because they have a bigger garage. It's basically the same as petrol heads in real life.
Several services, like the clothing store and beauty salon.
Wow.
Where you can meet the other Solar Crown competitors.
Are you saying I can get my nails did?
Currently racing, but you will find them here throughout the competition. Like you, they have successfully passed the selection races. Your chauffeur is waiting for you at the lobby entrance. He will take you to the dealership.
I love facial animations. Wow. Was that a bar back then? Spend all of your money on alcohol. Become an addict. Walk a bit slower.
Miss Hughes has asked me to drive you. Please, follow me.
Ah, the stereotypical Brit. Dealerships. Cool. G-Wagon. Appropriately overpriced. Good to see. Suspect is driving a Caterham. Yeah, I'm liking it so far. I'm not sure how long I'll do this initial impressions video for, but yeah, I like it.
Ah, good. Perfect timing. What do you think of the dealership? As part of the competition, we have made many places like this one available across the island. We want to ensure our participants have access to the best cars possible. However, you won't be able to drive some of these cars until you've gained enough reputation. The organization has the means to match its ambitions. And as it happens, here are the first 3 cars available to start the competition. Take your pick.
Take your pick.
The Solar Crown would like to credit your account with your first solar coins. As for me, I must leave you for the time being, but I imagine we'll have the pleasure of speaking again.
As for me, I must leave you for the time being. Goodbye, fellow human. Ford Mustang. Never mind. Corvette. Insufficient. Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right. 1.6 million. Okay. Right, bruv. How's it going, bruv? Just be a stereotypical Brit in a different type of way. 110 grand? Yeah, it seems about right for a 370Z. Alpine. How much is this one? Probably the most of the 3. Oh wow, it's actually... Okay, it's the cheapest of the 3. That doesn't make any sense. Well, I would usually go for the Alpine because I'm more an exotic kind of driver. But I don't know. I'm thinking maybe Mustang. Shall I go Mustang or Alpine? I feel like I'll go Mustang.
If you're not sure which car to choose, try...
Shh. Can't go wrong with 450 horses. Ruby red. I like how the paint options are different prices as usual as well. Let's go for orange. This is always one of the best things about TDU, choosing like the interior trim. So few games ever, to this day, so few games let you do that. Ceramic. Showstopper red. Tan. Shall I go tan? Doesn't really go with orange, but since when have I ever cared about what colours go together? Or shall I go black? Black and tan, maybe? Yeah. Shashing. Willkommen to Solar Crown. Ba-ba-ba-boom. Ba-ba-ba-boom. So, your reputation to the public, yeah, it still doesn't give me any information. Show everyone, yeah, whatever. Cool beans.
Congratulations. Have fun with your brand new car.
Why are you showing a GTR behind me? You mean I could have bought that? I'm curious to see what the off-road physics are like as well, because that obviously was not a thing in the first game. Then in TDU they brought it in mostly for the 4x4s, and then we'll see how it goes now. It looks nice.
Congratulations on acquiring your very first car. This is when you fully enter the tournament.
You can now take part in the first races of the Solar Crown.
Thank you, Alyssa. Do well in these races.
They have just finished.
At least you can skip now. Do 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 do. Oh, I thought I was actually going to have to fuel up the car then. Not that that's not cool in a certain sense, but yeah, buying a Mustang, that wouldn't have been the wise choice. Okay, so gas station, hotel. What are these, like random? Is that random drivers, I guess, or is that a race? Oh, interesting. So they got a bit of the Forza Horizon thing going on there. I can't remember if there was speed traps and stuff in TDU2 or not. I feel like there was something like that, but I can't remember now. Plenty of petrol stations. Let's try the flyover. Sounds good. I just noticed as well, I like how the camera movement switches depending on if you're standing still or moving. So if the car is still and you move the camera rotates around and stays there. But then if you, for example, pull back while you're driving, it just flicks straight to looking back. Do you know what I mean? Like if you're driving and you do that, it looks behind. But if you're stationary and you do that, it like rotates slowly around. That's cool. The one thing that the sat-nav actually needed to do, I feel like I'm going to end up accidentally changing the camera view quite a lot. Photo mode again, right, okay. Oh, okay. So that does look like the TDU2 method then. So that opens the menu. Okay. So wipers, signal. Yeah, I don't think I'll ever be using the signal. Can't be a TDU game without the windows opening and closing. That's cool, so you can drive without lights at night. I kind of like that actually. Roof, spoiler, hazards. Cool. The button layout will take a bit of getting used to, but that's just a normal thing with games. Okay, let's see where we're going now. Looks like we've got ourselves a little speedway here. What's this? Random driver. Look for an actual, where are the actual races then? So there's only one circuit event by the look of that, so where is it? Or was that this one that I already passed? No, it's a driver. Whoops, I thought I saw a circuit race earlier on. Italian cars. No, it's a dealer. Okay. See if we can go this way instead. Part of the fun with TDU was always making your own way. I do like the sound design. Car sounds good. Playing a lot of Gran Turismo will make you appreciate other games' sound design a lot more.
In 200
So like some of the graphics, like there, the Alpines on the menu, that looks a bit janky. But then when you're actually driving, it looks good. Car setup. Right, assist. Let's see about these bonuses. Racing line off. Gearbox, so you can do manual, semi-auto. Yeah, sure. ABS. I'll have some ABS. Traction control. Let's try it with no traction control. Let's see what kind of a difference that makes. So there's a timer for race prep. It's a bit weird. I get that if it was a real lobby against real people, but against AI, why would it be timed? Yeah, I'm liking it so far. My initial vibe, my initial impression is, yeah, good. See what difference traction control makes. One thing I've noticed so far as well, and it'll be hard to say if this continues or not, one of the things that was always annoying about TDU, and I seem to recall this was worse in the first game, was how annoying the traffic was. It was always in your way. Like cars would literally just pull in front of you deliberately. Whereas so far in this game, doesn't seem to be a huge amount of traffic in general. Could just be because it's early on in the game or the time of day or something. I'm sure it varies, but even so. And even with traction control turned off, I mean, the opponents are a bit closer, but I feel like that was just because it was the tutorial part of the game. With traction control off, I like it. I mean, it's only a low-level car, but still, driving a Mustang with 450 horses with the traction control off, you'd expect it to take a bit more effort, and yeah, I guess it does. It's not too crazy. It's not just slip-sliding all over the place. Oi. Oi! I don't think so, bruv. Well, that race was a bit closer, a bit more interesting. I didn't notice in the menu, though, that there was any option for changing the AI difficulty, so usually there is an option for that, but I didn't notice it. Maybe I just missed it. Amen! More awkward because I've turned the music off as well. So race reward, driving assists, first completion. So does that mean it's a bonus for finishing first, or a first completion as in the first time you've done the race, so you won't get that bonus again? Because that could mean either of those things. First win of the day bonus, sure. Cool. Well, I think for the sake of not making this video take all day, I might leave my initial thoughts here. I'm going to continue playing the game, obviously. This particular beta, I think, is only covering 3 days anyway. I don't know if any of this completion will carry over to the main game. Hopefully it does. But yeah, I'm actually looking forward to doing some coverage of it on the channel. I don't know entirely how I'll do it, because, you know, the structure wouldn't necessarily be quite like Gran Turismo or Forza, because the tuning usually isn't as in-depth anyway. And I don't know what kind of gameplay I would do. I mean, I guess I could do car reviews, but it's not really that kind of vibe. I mean, I do those in the members section for the older TDU games, but we'll have to see, I guess. I do plan on playing it for sure. I pre-ordered it anyway, and yeah, my initial impressions are better than I was hearing it was from other people. I'm enjoying it more than I was realistically hoping to. Going in with middle of the road or maybe slightly below expectations was definitely a benefit on this occasion. And yeah, I would say if you've come from Gran Turismo, well, a lot of Gran Turismo players unfortunately tend to be a bit snobbish, so they do tend to judge other games before they've given it a chance. So if you're that kind of person, but if you've come from Forza, certainly if you've come from Need for Speed or especially TDU, I think you'll probably actually like it. I think it so far has some of that vibe of the older games. It doesn't feel exactly like them, but at the same time you don't necessarily want it to feel exactly like a remake. But yeah, so far, still early days in the game, but I like it. It's better than I thought it was going to be, and I'm looking forward to playing more. So yeah, I'll see you again probably on the channel with more TDU3, and thanks for watching.